There we go. Ladies and gents, can we be seen? And he's back. Hey, alright. Welcome into this game one. Want to arrange that header so that everybody can make out the supplies a little bit, because I find that to be very helpful when you're trying to follow the overall pace of a game and understand what's happening. There we go. Hopefully it's visible, and we see that we already have some probe versus SEV action going on, and hopefully those sound settings are correct. Let's double check them really quick. We are really low. We're going to go even lower. We don't want to blow anybody's eardrums. With that, we have in the lower right-hand corner of Ohana our green Protoss player, Extraneous. Oh yeah. And in the upper left-hand corner, currently being scouted by Extraneous, we have our red Terran, a flying penguin. Quite an anomaly. To be honest, we have a lot of Terran in the tournament tonight, but in general, we don't see a lot of them, so I'm going to just say Terran in tournament scenes at this level. It makes perfect sense to have the name Flying Penguin. We see some Marines rallied out to the front, an SCV moving down, and the probe, scout for Extraneous returning. What did he see? What did he see? He saw one Rax, he saw no gases and an orbital being upgraded, and now we have two gases going down, so we left just a moment too early or perfectly on time because he was able to survive before these Marines came out. Flying Penguin's also taking his expansion. Meanwhile, his Protoss opponent, green player, Extraneous, went ahead and built that Zealot and then followed it up with the Stalker and did not skip the Zealot, and that's fine. He's got one assimilator down as the second one, and he's upgrading the Warp Gate research and is not laying down a second gateway as of yet. So, we could very well be seeing some kind of a Templar Archive, some kind of heavy gas play that could be air, or nope, he's not expanding. I thought he might be. So we do want a warp gate, but for only one gate. I'm not sure. There goes the robo facility. There goes another gate. Interesting timing on that. We do see Flying Penguin will pretty comfortably be able to take his expansion early on, and Extraneous isn't going to have any idea about it. Let's find out if this probe is able to see. Oh, the Marines come down the ramp. Oh, they pass. Oh, my goodness. Wow. For just a moment, I thought he was going to get in, but no, turns out there are 6 Marines, not 3. I was fooled by the vision, just like our friendly Extraneous was. Flying Penguin, sitting here, checking things out. SCV is ready. I love that, how when you switch over to Vision, you get to hear what's going on. Sometimes that helps me see fights that are going on scene that I may be missing. There is still choppy sound for in-game sound, just to let you know. You can still hear me crystal clear. Thank you, RoboGunner. That is good to know, and it's a little bit frustrating that StarCraft 2 is doing that. However, I'm glad the sound setup that I've gone with for me is good. It's actually supposed to be studio quality, so if it's not that, you can also let me know that. If it's just like, he sounds like he's in a tin can, but I can at least understand him. That kind of feedback is really important too, or letting me know what sounds specifically when are choppy. So if it's just every single in-game sound, which I think that's what he's telling me, then I clearly need to change some of my SE2 settings. We really want to make the cast something that people can watch and enjoy. So I'm guessing that Warpin sound sounded very odd. We do see that we have a third gateway coming down, Robo Facility going immediately with the Immortal, and our Terran player just building Marines. Just Marines, doesn't want to do anything else. He's got Combat Shield and the Stim Pack coming for them, and the Factory, which I'm guessing is going to lay down a Reactor, and we'll see a Starport follow up and then switch over for those Medivacs so we can get some healing on these really high damage per second, aka DPS Marines. It's always a very fine balance to decide when you're telling people things that they definitely already know. We see the Observer coming in, and Flying Penguins so far is missing it. Now it's still, that's the hardest way to check an Observer. And there he is, and we do see that Extraneous has vision of the expansion. He sees a ton of Marines and just Marines, and his response is to move down his ramp. And What's he going to do? Ah, he's going to lay down his expansion. Okay, and he's also laying down a robotics bay. He's going to go ahead and tech. He says, fine, you want to take an expansion? I can too. However, we open up that income tab, and oh my goodness, our Terran player is doubling. Flying Penguin is doubling extraneous, our Protoss players. Income, what do we call it? Minerals per second? MPS? There's got to be some sort of acronym for that. I should know that. We do have some supply depots coming down from Flying Penguin, who was supply blocked for quite a while. At the same time, however, Extraneous was supply blocked as well. We got a forward pylon coming down. This SCV in a great position gets to see that a gas has gone down and the expansion is going down. And actually we'll probably get to see it all the way into completion, which is something else that's important, because this would be an okay opportunity for... Okay, that was interesting. So now the supply depot, or the SCV is running back. Supply depots are required for Flying Penguin, is what I was trying to say apparently. And we really have very good saturation. Let's open up the units tab and we see 28 probes up here on one base. That's fantastic. The second base, however, is now done. We do have a little bit of the transfer going on. That's going to bring us up to an optimal saturation there. Factory floating out across the map. Hey, I tried PMing my opponent. Appears he's offline. Says Andros. And I type reply. Okay. I'll advance you after the game I'm casting now. Whoa, smiley face. I like to be happy in text. Now we have some Marauders out, and we see that our Terran player, Flying Penguin, is taking his third base, and he's moving out across the map, scanning ahead. What does he see? He sees a Colossi Immortal Century Death Ball, and he's like, yeah, that's okay. I don't need to go that way. Tree Stumped 1 says Cal. Cal, I'm very sorry. Thank you for letting me know. Hopefully we see an update. And I don't know. Oh my goodness, that was a very circuitous route. I guess he's trying to outdistance an observer, but whoa, we still have our units tab open. There's only one observer. Now let's open that production tab and we see that the thermal lance upgrade is coming, but there's nothing here. There's nothing. Everything is down on the ramp. Now everything's being pulled back. We still have a little force here. It'd be really interesting to see that run in. We have probes dying, stalkers coming back, finally being able to handle that. Some pretty decent force fields, allowing the Colossi to get some pot shots off. If we focus down these medevacs, we very well may get a jackpot kill. Oh, we do not. That's unfortunate. This force has to run away. This factory, being Marine King-esque, is saying, no, you may not expand. And while Flying Penguin is just going for that fourth. He says, you want to sit on 2 base? I'll show you how to macro. And he's got Marines hanging out at this forward Zelnaga Tower. Dropships returning home. I will cast the best of 3s with you, says Kevin. That is awesome. He is lefty. He was here last night. KK, if storms abate. I'm not sure if they will, but that'd be really cool to have him in. It's actually a lot more fun to cast with someone. We have some medevacs here in the middle, not doing anything. Tons of production out of our Terran player. Just he's doing all kinds of stuff. Meanwhile, our Protoss player just doesn't have the economy to really do much of anything besides what he's doing. He is chronoboasting out upgrades, which is a fantastic choice. He really needs to develop a little bit of map vision. He has no idea about either the 3rd or the 4th. He hasn't even checked to see if he can land his 3rd. Or, okay, he does see that he could probably go up there. And now we have, a free medevac with Marauder inside. And Flying Penguin's just going to let this die. Those poor, poor Marines and Marauders inside. Oh, they get dropped out. Oh, they're not dead, except they are. But at least they get to do a little bit of damage to their opponents, a little bit of a moral victory. And now we bring a force down to meet from Flying Penguin. Extraneous. I wonder if he can take this. Some interesting force fields. He says, no, I don't feel like taking this engagement. This Marine, very lucky guy, could have easily been picked off, is instead left alive. We see a new production cycle out of Flying Penguin, who also has some units back there and has an orbital command down here. Didn't even go to the planetary fortress. Bold choices everywhere. He's not quite keeping up on his gas mining, as we can see. Highlighted up there he is, however, upgrading to his level 2 attack He's got his level 1 armor. Meanwhile, we still have 1-1 in process for Protoss. That would be extraneous, not just a random Protoss. This observer has moved down a little bit. He can keep an eye on the majority of Flying Penguin's force, and now he moves up and he sees, oh no, he's on 3 bases. Oh no. And he's got supply depots going down there, which should probably tell him that my opponent is doing well. If he needs more supply depots and randomly lays it down, and a great snipe there by Flying Penguin to take out that observer. What kind of response will we see out of Extraneous here, who is, wow, extremely close to getting doubled in supply. Very unfortunate for him. He's got a new gateway coming in, a Stalker that's double checking that he can take that expansion, and we have our Terran player moving forward.